Welcome to Between Seasons, a podcast for leaders in transition of what was and what is next. With us today, we have a pleasure of having Dr. Rotimi, who is the visionary, author, entrepreneur, as well a coach, and also the creator of some of the frameworks that we will be covering in the following episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about your network has a system and not your list. Now, like myself, Mr. Rotimi, the mistake that I used to make in the past is thinking that my network was like a list of like opportunities that I can get jobs. I didn't look at it the way you've helped me to understand, and which I'm also hoping our audience will. So most people think that they're bad at networking, but I'd argue, because of your teaching, that the real problem isn't that they're bad at it. It's that nobody ever taught them what networking actually is. So let's start there. What is networking really, and what are most people getting fundamentally wrong about networking?
That's a big and a multi-dimensional question that we look at it from different angles. But we will just create a kind of a metaphor for networking, just to enhance, to help us to understand. So we might look at network like a box. When you have treasure, you put them in a box. I just lock it up. Oh, nothing should touch it to preserve them. And in many cases, that's what you see with the kind of connections on networks we see on LinkedIn. The people have 500 connection plus 1,000 plus. And then the other side, remember I said metaphor, is seeing network as a garden. So when you view network as a box where you keep treasures, that you just keep it there, lock it up, and you don't do anything with it until the day you need the treasure. Mm-hmm. So that is where the mistake is. But when you view it as a garden, it means that you sow a seed of a relationship. Essentially, when you talk about network, it's relationship. That's connections that you have with people. And network, in terms of value creation, is you get to a point that where you need help, you can call one of those people that can help you to get from point A to point B. So when you view it as a garden, it tells you that you have to sow a seed, you have to water it, you have to nurture it, you have to keep an eye on it, you have to see that it grows, you have to see that you weed it, things like that. So it's something you work on. It's not something you keep in a place that just hide. And when you get to a point where you need it, you approach it like an ATM machine. You just go there and withdraw. Another metaphor is to see network as a bank account, as a garden again, and not an ATM machine. Even if you go to ATM machine to make a withdrawal, it means that you have deposited something. And it takes time for that to mature. Like, for example, if you deposit a check, it takes you a couple of days to mature. So viewing it as something of treasure, I have 1,000 connections, and you just kept it there. No contact, no rapport, nothing. And then when you need it, you just go and say to them, could you do this for me? So those are the key views that determines whether you get value out of your network or otherwise.
I like that, like viewing it as a garden. That's actually a beautiful way to put it, because most of us look at it as an emergency line where something goes wrong. Hey, listen, I haven't spoken to you for a while, but something came up. Can you do something? So that, which leads me to this question. So you've once described something called dangerous illusion, where someone thinks they have a strong network because their contact list is long. Like, you go to their LinkedIn, you're like, oh my God, this person is so well known. And then a transition hits and they realize almost none of those networks actually are useful or work for them. So how do people reach to that point, which you've kind of briefly touched on, but I want you to expand just a little bit so people get the critical why it's so critical to have a different mindset.
Yeah, I think the critical question you ask yourself is, look at the list you have and just run through the list and ask yourself the question, how many of these people can I call now and they will recognize me? When you accumulate from different people you went to school together, people you work together, you meet maybe by chance a training seminar, people that you have maybe years, that even when you introduce to them, they might not even remember your face. Now, if you get to a place where you have treated your network like a box, like a treasure box, and then you did not nurture, you've not contacted, you've not had any exchange. So you ask yourself a question, how many persons can I call now and they will pick up their phone and do what I asked them to do for me? And that is a litmus test that you can do. So that illusion that you don't wait, that the size of your network is the size of your opportunity is wrong when that network is not nurtured. That's number one. Number two, network or connections are not the same. So typically in writing, we group them, we create color code them.
Okay.
Like, and temperature code. Hot.
Warm.
The one that is hot, that is warm, and is cold. And the hot are the people that when they know your number, they know your name, they know who you are. They can vouch for you. When you ask them to do something, they do it immediately because you have rapport. You see every time, you talk every time. A relationship that is nurtured. That's one. A relationship where the value flow is even. You give value, they give value. You help them, they help you. So when you call them, you ask for something to do, that is hot or red. And then you have the yellow or warm is people, they really can't vouch for you, but they know you as a good person, but not in details. So if you ask them to do something, they may to an extent. But the cold, the blue one is just, they can't even remember you. You met one day, you get connection, somebody asks for connection. So many people that ask connection, I just say yes, and we never do anything again. You never ask for anything. So a connection that is not nurtured, however big it is, will not be able to create value. The chances that it will be able to create value is very remote. So if you wait until you are in trouble before you begin to nurture, the turnaround time may be the killer in that instance. So that's the way it is. The illusion that the number is equal to opportunity is not correct when such connections are not nurtured.
So does that mean then, let's say I'm on LinkedIn, I have like 700 people. Should I then each week be reaching out to them, say, hey, how's the family going? Let's go out to coffee. How do because that's a lot of people to maintain, right? And let's say the hot, the lukewarm, and the cold. How do I go about ensuring that I have more in my hot, and then maybe a few in my lukewarm, and then the cold one? It is what it is. You can't please. But should I intentionally, like each week, be reaching out to just to say, oh, in case something happens, at least they can say, hey, this person has been sending us a text every. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. Now, we get connection two ways.
Okay.
The connection that you went for and the connection that came for you. Somebody see what you do and they liked it and they ask for your connection. But in some instances, you ask for some people's connection. That's a broad group. But the key thing to deal with the situation you are painting is to group the connection. You have to categorize them. You group them into high value, medium value, and low value. There are some of the connections that it's just what you do. They just follow you. They just like you. Not likelihood there's a chance that you probably would need them for anything, but you still want to keep that relationship as part of the group. But there's some people that are very critical for your success. Then you have those one as either mentors, as coach, as friends, as family. So you group them. So the nature of the group determines how frequent you want to reach out to them. Now, for example, if you have an executive as a mentor and is your connection, of course, it's not every day that you say, hi, how are you doing? No, because you know they're busy. That could lead to making you look like a nuisance. But when you have someone that have high value for you, you want to demonstrate that you are constantly thinking about them. So you know what they are doing. You follow what they're doing, like you read their post, you make comments, you understand their industry, you know what they are going through. Now, when you see an article that relates to what you think they will need, you just send it to them. And when you see it, you see a news piece that you think will be relevant for them. That is a reminder that this person is thinking about me. So when you come suddenly when you need help, when you try to sow the seed, like we say, it's a garden. When you sow the seed of those providing information, being relevant, that's demonstrating that you are constantly thinking about them. So that means that you nurture it. But that can be everybody. You have to categorize it. So you have friends as different things. So you have people that is only when you want to have fun. You have people you go to when you have trouble. When you are in real trouble, the people you go to. So the way you nurture all of them is different. Now, people who come to you based on what you do, what you owe them is to continue to do what you do. Get better at what you do, write articles, do things that benefit them. They follow, they do what they want to do. So you do that, which is general. But for specifically, you have to be intentional. Then you categorize them. What you do for friends, old school friend, is different from what you do for an executive that can help you from one role to another one. So and those people, you don't, go to them all the time. But you have to demonstrate that over time, you are creating value. So the value flow must be mutual. And that is how you nurture.
I see. Now, so that's what you're mentioning is you have to strategically water the garden. Some you have to know, okay, I have to water this one a little bit, this plant or this seed and it requires more water. This one, not as much. Maybe I can just keep him in my back pocket. And as well, having an understanding of who you're dealing with, like the executive. I can't just be like, sending them random text saying, hey, so how's your day going? Like making it too casual.
So let's take for example, if you plant corn, you have a corn farm. So you want to apply fertilizer, you just do it generally. The same fertilizer, maybe you use an equipment to just spread the fertilizer and that's it. But if you have a special plant in your yard, and remember the corn is in a farm, maybe kilometers away. Well, you have a specialized flower in your living room. You live and work together. The nurture for the two of them is not, like the flower is not seeing the sun. So you nurture it differently. So you're looking for the same result, but you need to be intentional on how you categorize this. And that tells how much you invest. So, for example, your connection with your children or your spouse is different. The way you water them is different. The same way, the way you water your friend is different. The way you water your business associate is different. The way you water your senior colleague is different. So the way you water people you meet online is different. So they fall into different categories. They are of different use when it comes to your well-being and prospects. So, and in the same way, because the contribution of every connection, the potential contribution is different. You understand? So that is what gives you the approach of how you need to deal with them and how you nurture them to ensure that when there is need, they are in a good position, to respond. And somebody that you've not talked to in the last 6 months or a year, and say, "Oh, can you please refer me to so person? I'm trying to do this with the person." Where is this coming from?
100%. Now, there's something that you said that I want to push on. The idea that even when you're reaching out to someone far more senior, like you, like an executive who's more successful, you still have to offer something, right? Because sometimes when you're reaching out, a lot of networking is you're asking, but you don't have the tendency to be like, okay, what am I bringing? So a lot of people generally don't believe that. So how do you convince someone that they're not just a burden to their network?
If you don't believe that, that means that you're a bad networker. There are two ways to. It's just human nature. Even God required that we praise Him.
True.
Is it human nature? When you need, if the only time you call is when you have a need. It will take long, but people are smart. It will take long that people will know that the last time you called, this is what happened. The last time you called, this is what. Once they see your call, they won't pick your call again. It's just natural. So, and it does help, to give. It's one of the best things we can do as humans. One way to keep your relationship is by giving. For God so loved the world, He gave. So that's one thing that God demonstrated for us. So, and one of the reasons people assume that is perhaps people will think, "Oh, okay, he's a big man. What does he need? Or I don't have what he needs."
Like they might think I'm bribing him by trying to hey, here's a little something. Can you help me now?
I don't think so. Well, if you wait until when you have a need, that is not even bribing. That could be described as manipulation. So you wait until when you have a need, and once you don't have any need, you disappear. It negates human nature. So even when you give things when you don't need anything, that is when you have the clean and clear intention. And people recognize that. So when you just need to understand that everybody has a need. It might not necessarily be cash or anything. It might just be the happy birthday, which means that you remember. You only remember the birthday of someone that is important to you. That's a message. If I look at your industry and I see an article that I think is relevant to your office or to what you are doing, so you understand the person with, this person is thinking, is a reminder. Not only that you demonstrate to the person that you are thinking about the person, you renew your own presence in the mind of the person. They remember you too. That is human nature. And sometimes perhaps you do something online that is not giving anything monetary. It's just giving something that you say, that you do something. You say thank you, something complimentary, things like that. So it is human nature. It's not bribe. It's just a natural thing to do. To receive love, you must give love. To receive value, you must give value. But the law of multiplication, you can create a value of $1 and receive a value of $100. So that's what law of multiplication, that's what it does. So if you are building, view it as a garden that must be nurtured. So when you give, you are not bribing, you are nurturing. Are you bribing a corn where you are putting water or fertilizer or anything? Is that bribe?
No.
Are you doing that to get corn to harvest? Maybe, but if you don't do that, you are not going to harvest anything. So that's the way it is.
So there has to be intentional, and then don't I like that you said don't wait until you need something. Like let's say a week before you're gonna ask, then you start sending them gifts. Oh, by the way, and then
that's manipulation.
Yeah, so you have to actually intention throughout the. So doing like a I run through your list and be like, okay, I haven't checked on this person for a while. Let me send them a message. Hey, how's the family doing? Haven't spoken to you a while. Just maintaining that sense of like, I'm still thinking about you, even though we don't connect on a regular basis. You popped in my mind, and I wanted to just reach out and check if everything.
To narrow it down strategically,
please.
is like you have people in your space that are far ahead of you, people who had done what you aspire to do. There won't be many. People who can hold you and bring you up. There won't be many. You need to keep those ones aside. You need to keep family aside. You need to keep friends aside. Then you need to keep the acquaintances aside. Then the general follower. You need to categorize and deal with them. So some of them is just generic. Some of them you have to be specific. Some of them is something you do 3 months. Some of them is something you do in every month, or you do monthly. So those are the understanding that you need to have to be able to get results from your connections.
I see. So going back to the categorization, I love the framework of hot, warm, and cold connection, right? But because it immediately makes people think about their network differently. But here's the question that most people are afraid to ask. How do you reach out to someone you actually, someone you haven't spoken to for 3 or 4 years without feeling awkward, opportunistic? Like they're in a position that either they work in an organization that you genuinely are very, very interested in, something you've had in your mind for a while, and you guys went to high school some time back, and you just found out that, oh, this person works there. Oh my God. So you genuinely want to reach out to them. They sort of know you, but you haven't connected in 3 years. How do you make that connection without it being awkward?
Rule number 1, don't ask for anything.
That's kind of backward. Like, I need that position.
Well, it's too late. So if you need that position, if it's someone that is, once you ask anything, you lose that legitimacy. The way you are projecting is that I'm calling you because I need you. That's the message. If you're very close to the person and this person can help, they could, but that won't help you. So if you have a cold connection, the rule number 1 is that don't ask for anything.
So you would consider that cold connection, even if, let's say, you went to high school and it's been only 3 years. I mean,
I've seen people. I've seen people that we've not connected for years. Unfortunately, that's when you see a text message, how are you and your family? The next 5 minutes, the next thing is bank account. And that's, I understand, at the other end, it's difficult to ask. So people ask probably because they've tried everything. They didn't want to ask. So probably because they've tried everything and that's the only option they have. So I recognize that. But the key point is, if that is the trend, it might be difficult for people to pick your call or to see your greetings as neutral. You understand? So, but if you can afford it, I understand in some instances people might not be able to afford that because they're in a critical situation. They need a solution. They need to find a solution. And that can happen. But if that is the trend, that is where the problem is going to be. So the point is, if the connection is cold, the network is cold, and the first when you're trying to reestablish rapport, don't ask for any favor.
I see.
And you might start by actually giving a favor. I see you work in this space, and I see this article. I hope this is useful for you. You don't do that, and in the next 1 hour, ask for a favor. So, but sometimes if you're desperate, of course, you can do that. But that determines the chances or the likelihood that you get a result.
So if a person right now is in a situation that I just described, and you being a high achiever at the level that you're at, help that individual understand a very strategic framework or approach that they can go about it. Like the first thing you said, don't ask for anything. Just, hey, I noticed we haven't spoken for a while, and I noticed you're in this industry. I was reading about it, and this is what I came across.
It doesn't have to be that long.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It doesn't have to be that long.
Yeah.
You know what? Technology has made a lot of things easy for us. Like I just said, a message, send an attachment. You don't need anything long. One of the key things today is that people have a very short span. If something is not within their interest, people don't waste time on things that they believe is not within their interest. So you don't make it long, you make it short. You go straight to the point. If, for example, I've seen people who send me message and I don't recognize the number. If it's been a while, you think the person wouldn't recognize. I mean, it's just normal to introduce yourself. One line. Hey, I'm of, if you went to the same school, so high school, so name of so school. So that quickly brings you memory. So it's been a while. How you doing? It's just casual. So that brings about what connects both of you. Or I am so we met at. So it gives you your commonality. So once you understand the commonality, that can bring about a mood that bring about the memory of what you had together in the past. That will be the starting point. If you're able to get from cold to warm, they can put in your request.
So there's no time frame to be like
No
1
time frame.
week, 2 weeks, 3 months.
It depends on how. It depends on the person on the other hand. Like if you drop something and there's no response, so you are not moving anywhere. And if you drop something like that, you say, "Hey, buddy," things like that. You understand that you've moved from cold to warm. You still don't have credibility big enough to ask big. But you can ask if you don't mind if you fall flat on the floor.
Yeah.
So that's a point. But the point is, why are you doing what you're doing? You're doing that because you want result. So you go at the back of your mind, if my approach going to give me the desired result or not? Because the key thing we are looking at as network. Network is someone who is in the room you aspire to get into. Someone who is not only in the room you aspire to get into, but is comfortable to speak for you in that room. I might be in that room, but I don't trust you enough to speak for you. Somebody who believes that you will not throw them on the bus if you come in. Somebody who believes that you won't mess them up. So they have to know enough. They have to, the key thing you need, therefore, in this instance, when you are looking for a high compensation role or high paying role, is someone who is in the room you aspire to get into and is willing to speak for you. Somebody that can pick up a phone and call someone. I'm introducing so person to you. I can vouch for him. It takes a relationship, to vouch for people. And those are the people that opens doors. The last episode we look at skills. And skill is like your radio transmission. You just transmit your content. Your content is your resume, your expertise, your experience. But your network is your antenna. It makes sure that the right people hear what you are transmitting. So all the skills, all the value that you've got is you're like your radio station, which you are communicating to the market. But the right people need to hear what you are communicating. And they need to hear the version that can help them to make the right decision. So that's where network comes in. Network is like antenna that amplifies the value you are trying to communicate, ensuring that the right audience not only hear, listen, and they act. So the two had to work hand in hand. So to be sure. So if the network does not believe what you are trying to project, of course, they won't be in a good position, to present it for someone else. And that's the way it works.
I say that's beautifully. Actually, that's a beautiful analogy.
Yeah.
I wish we can have more time, but that's all the questions I have for you today, Dr. Rotimi. I appreciate once again your insight and your time that you give us. And yes, networking, from the other analogy that you provided, it's like a garden, right? Is you have to make sure you water it properly. You also have to pay attention to the seeds that you're planting down. And if you don't take care of it, don't be surprised if it just withers and it dries up.
It just dries up.
And another thing that you said is understanding, categorizing them properly. The beautiful one, you said, a corn, when it's growing, it can be miles away. So the watering, the way you approach is very differently, but a very delicate flower that is very close, either in front of your yard or inside the house, the way you treat it is completely different. So you have to understand, is this hot? Is this network hot? Is this network warm? Is this network cold? And the way you approach it is different. And the biggest thing is, don't wait. Don't be that person who only reaches out to people when you're in trouble. Don't be that, because people are gonna recognize we're human beings. We're not stupid. That I'm gonna see through your your approach. Like, this person only calls me when something is up, and they're probably gonna be reluctant to take your call. So be intentional. Be mindful. Try to find things that. Another thing that you said, is that also make sure you're bringing something to the table.
Yeah.
Right. So
again. Network is a lever.
I see.
So you can leverage it. So a lever in elementary physics amplifies a force. It amplifies a force. So when you have a well-nurtured connection, it gives you an added advantage.
One of the
career growth.
100%. That's what I was going to say. Like, sometimes you could have all the right resources, but if your network is not as strong, all those opportunities that you think you're deserving of could not happen to you. It just takes one right connection to get you to places that you never imagined you can actually be at. So, my friends, I appreciate you once again for joining us for this episode. Please join us for the next episode that we'll be posting. We hope that you've gained something of value. You've taken some of the framework that we touched on today and go apply it. And as well, please, one of the books that I would highly encourage you guys to read is Mastering High Stakes Transition. This is Dr. Rotimi's latest book. He has more books that I'm going to be stressing him to publish soon. But the link will be provided. Please go grab a copy of yours. You can either get a digital copy or you can grab a physical copy. Dr. Rotimi.
Please, make comments. Encourage your comments.
Of course.
We want to have feedback.
The comments just allows us to know, okay, what areas are you struggling in? So that way, Dr. Rotimi can provide his insight. Share and subscribe. We would love to build a community. And Dr. Rotimi, thank you so much for your time.
Always a pleasure.
I look forward to our next episode.
Absolutely.
Take care.